Bill of Quantities. At the click of a button, we can generate a complete bill of quantities. This report may not be something we need to generate for every quote we produce, but if a client, their architect, or surveyor, for example, needs it, this fiddly, time-consuming task can be done in minutes rather than hours. The bill of quantities can be generated at any time during the pricing process, but it would be best practice to ensure that all the required information is on the pricing sheet and that the markups and overheads have been checked, and if necessary, adjusted on the summary sheet. We have entered all the information onto the pricing sheet and set our summary to our preferences. So let's generate the bill of quantities. We click Reports and click Bill of Quantities. The NHE Plus will now go through and draw together all of the details, quantities and costs for every single plant and material item that we've included in our quote, right down to the last nail, as well as all the associated labour costs and hours. The bill of quantities is now generated. Let's take a look at this incredibly useful report. OK, so this report is broken down into sections. As we can see, they correspond with the pricing sections on the pricing sheet, and they're laid out in the order of the build. Here's the title of the section. Below this, we can see the details. Working from left to right, this column contains the quantity. Here's the unit type. Next, the description of the item. Here is the unit cost of the described item. This column contains any plant costs for the item. The material costs, if any, are here, and any labour costs associated with the item are in this column. Any hours are in this column. The final column contains the total. At the bottom of each pricing section listed, we can see the totals for it. At the moment, the bill of quantities is set to include profits and overheads, meaning that it's in a client-friendly format. It's also showing the hours. Both of these settings are easily adjusted. To hide the hours, just check this box. See? Instantly they're removed. To show the figures as cost and not include the profits and overheads in any of the figures, uncheck this box by clicking it. Instantly the cost will change to reflect our choice. We can view the totals by scrolling down to the bottom or by clicking the View Totals button. It's important to note that if we've included PC sums in our quote, then there may be a difference between the totals on the bill of quantities when compared to the summary sheet. This is due to the way the programme deals with PC sums. If we've entered the information into a pricing section on the pricing sheet and checked the PC sum box, on the summary sheet, these costs will be rounded up to the nearest £100. Due to the nature of a bill of quantities, the rounding up is not applied. But this can cause a difference between the two reports when the bill of quantities is generated. If there is a difference between the totals on the two reports, then the programme will show us what the difference is here. If we click this blue info icon, we're provided with a further explanation about why the totals can be different, and confirmation that the price on the summary report is the correct price that needs to be quoted to the client. If required, we can export the bill of quantities into an Excel document. This can be useful if we need to email the bill of quantity details to an interested party. Once the bill of quantities is in an Excel document, if we want to make any adjustments, we can. Remember though, once it has been exported to Excel, it will become an independent document. So if we do make any changes or amendments to the quote, for example on the pricing sheet or in the summary report, we will need to export the bill of quantities as an Excel document again, to ensure it has the latest details within it. OK, so as we can see, creating a bill of quantities for a job is really straightforward. We just make sure everything's completed on our pricing sheet and summary, click the bill of quantities on the Reports tab. A complete bill of quantities for the job will be generated for us. We then use the checkboxes here to include the level of detail that we require.